All right, a couple of weeks ago, I told you about this reality show, Alone Australia, where a bunch of woke leftists are sent out into the wilderness to survive and hilarity unintentionally ensues. And I said how the show, along with everything else we've seen from the country over the past 5 years or so, has really changed my opinion of Australia. And I realize now that Australia is a pretty lame country, tragically lame. I used to hold it in such high regard, but now I don't. And these comments have apparently caused quite a stir in Australia. First, the Daily Mail Australia reported on them. We talked about that. And now we have another article. This is from news.com in Australia. Here's the headline. American podcaster brands Australia lamest country on earth in bizarre rant. An American podcaster has branded Australia lame and weak after going on an emotional anti-woke rant online. Now, already there's a problem here because anyone who listens to this show knows that I'm prone to going on rants. That's true. That's basically the whole show. But I don't usually do emotional rants. I don't do emotions in general most of the time. And I certainly didn't get emotional about Australia being lame. I mean, yeah, it's a little disappointing. I'm not emotional, but it's not my country. I'm just telling you what's going on. That's all. Anyway, let's continue. Quote, an American podcaster has lashed out Australia in an emotional rant, branding us lame and weak in a recent video. Matt Walsh is a right-wing commentator whose favorite pastime is getting his knickers in a knot about people being woke and then whinging about it on the internet. In one of his latest rants, he appears to have taken issue with Australia, revealing his opinion of the country that has plummeted in recent years. He said in a recent video, posted to TikTok, before COVID, I thought Australia was, first of all, an absolute hellscape where poisonous spiders rain from the sky. That part is true. Anyway, they quote me some more. I'm not going to read back my own quotes. Walsh is known for spewing a strong anti-transgender and anti-LGBTQ plus rhetoric. His 2022 film, What is a Woman?, was heavily criticized by transgender groups and activists, with the magazine Current Affairs describing it as a feature-length attack on transgender people that accuses them of being delusional about reality and posing a threat to women and children. The snippet of Walsh's Australia whinge that was shared on TikTok forms part of a longer YouTube video in which he speaks about the woke Australian version of the survival show Alone. And anyway, it goes on. Okay, so look, I didn't realize that my comments about Australia would cause such heartache in the country of Australia. I didn't realize that you guys care so much about what I think of you. The fact that there have been multiple headlines in Australia media about my comments on Australia is surprising to me and also incredibly pathetic, especially because you'd think that there's plenty of other things happening in Australia that you'd be paying attention to instead of paying attention to me. I mean, you've got, I don't know, kangaroos and shit down there. You've got venomous snakes falling out of your ceilings. You've got crocodiles lurking in your front yard, eating your dogs. Spiders the size of Buicks just like walking down the street. So I just don't understand how, in the midst of all that, you could find the time to care about what I say. And as I said before, I don't understand how you can live in that environment and still be weak, woke little wimps. But here we are. I mean, I don't get it, but that's what's happening. And I say this as someone who, again, always liked Australia, at least from afar. I was a big fan of Steve Irwin. I love the Bloomin' Onion from Outback Steakhouse. So I know a lot about Australian culture. I'm really steeped in Australian culture. And that's why it pains me to see what it has become. So here's what I'll say. And this is the last thing I'll say about Australia for now. And I think, and I'm not, I'm not backtracking. I'm not one to apologize, but I do want to in a certain sense, I want to make amends with Australia. And I don't want, you guys are fragile enough down there. I don't want to cause any more pain and heartache for you. So I think there's only one solution. This is kind of my compromise. I think Australia needs to be invaded. For its own sake, we need to invade Australia and conquer it. And based on what I've seen, that'll only take about 3 or 4 hours, and the whole job will be done. And what we'll do, this is my proposal, just my proposal, is we'll round up all the woke, lame Australians, and we will drive them inland to the interior, and we'll set up like a reservation for them that they can live on. And then the cool Australians will be liberated. And we'll send them to go, live in New Zealand, which is basically Australia, but colder. It's like Australia refrigerated or something, from what I understand. And they can live there because nobody's in New Zealand right now anyway. And the rest, and then you're saying, well, what do we do with the rest of the Australian continent? My suggestion is that we get back to Australia's roots. We convert it back to a prison colony. And we'll start shipping our prisoners to Australia and, put it to use. Because that was Australia's heyday. That was Australia in its prime, is when it was just where you had shiploads of criminals, you dropped them off on the shore of Australia, and you say, good luck, we'll see you never. And then you sail away. And I think that's what we should do. It's kind of a do-over sort of situation, a reset. I'm not going to say a great reset, but it's a reset for Australia. And level all the cities. We'll destroy the cities. And we'll do that safely. I'm not advocating that we harm anybody. We clear everybody out first. We make sure we do it. And then we level all the cities and send the woke ones to a reservation in the desert, ship the other ones to New Zealand, and then we start sending our prisoners there. That's my plan. That's how we fix this thing. And that's how much I care. I care about Australia so much that I'm willing for it to be conquered in order to fix it. And the great thing is that we all know, based on recent history, that when America conquers a country, it fixes everything. It makes everything better. And I'd like to see that for all of you down in Australia. Hey, YouTube, thanks for listening to the show. If you'd like access to my full show with no ads, you should go to dailywire.com and use promo code Walsh to get 2 months free on all annual plans. See you there.